reality was huge when we launched the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. It was just taking off. Everybody was watching. It was big. And we said, we need to come up with a reality show. And we decided, let's come up with a show. Literally, me and my team went into my office at like 8 o'clock at night and came out around 3 or 4 in the morning with The Ultimate Fighter. And we bounced a zillion different concepts around, and that's the one we came up with. So we basically, we wanted it to be our Trojan horse, because all these guys live in a house, they train together, but at the end of every episode, there's a live fight. You know what I mean? There was a fight that would be on TV. And it would end with a finale. 2 guys fight in the finale. 1 guy becomes the Ultimate Fighter and gets a contract with the UFC. So we go out and start pitching this thing, and nobody wants it. So, we come up with the idea, this is how we get on TV, but not if nobody wants it. So we ended up Spike TV had just come out, and they were calling themselves the Men's Network. And we went to them and pitched it to them. They didn't want it, and we said, well, what if we pay for it? They said, well, we like it a lot better now. So we paid $10 million for the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, aired it, and literally had no advertising. We spent $10 million. We weren't advertising the thing. You know what I mean? And even if you look at it, to get a show out there like that, you have to spend, you believe it or not, but when you see these shows that are being marketed, it's anywhere from $10 to $13 million to advertise these shows. So if you spend $1 million, you might as well just throw it off the roof. You'd have more fun than spending it. So we just put it on the air. The first episode pulled 1.3 million viewers, which was by far the biggest thing they had on their network. Did anybody watch season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter in here? So you remember when the whole Bobby Southworth, Chris Lieben, Josh Koscheck thing happened? When that whole thing went down, we pulled 2.3 million viewers, which is astronomical. It's a huge, especially this thing comes out of nowhere, right? Well, at that time, when you see these shows that start like Duck Dynasty, Kitty Boo Boo, whatever her name is, you know what I'm talking about, right? What's her name?
Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo, yeah, right? I've never seen that show in my life, but I know it. You know why I know it? Because when a show starts to click like that, they start throwing money at it. You can't get away from it, You can't get away from these shows. They market like crazy to try to pull new viewers in. You know how much Spike spent? Not a dime. I was waiting for this whole, when's this going to roll out? So halfway through the season, the president of the company gets fired, right? They had made all these promises to me and everything else. All dead. Nothing. So we go through this whole season. It's unbelievably successful, and we honestly didn't know if we were going to have a second season. So we're at the finale that night, and Diego Sanchez fought Kenny Florian, comes out and annihilates him in a minute. I'm like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. Then Forrest and Stephan come out and put on that war that you talked about, and you just knew in the building that night. I knew. That was it. Any doubt I had, everything was gone. I knew it was going to happen. And literally the guys from Spike went out and cut the deal for the next season with us in the alley that night. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true. Took us out in the alley and cut the new deal for the next season of The Ultimate Fighter. So if that first season didn't happen, I would not be sitting here right now. It's a fact.